Hey guys, Mike here. So definitely a loaded video for you, and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff like SMCI, is it the next Enron? What in the world happened with that one right there? AMD falling into a very particular level I want to talk about as well. I'm also going to show you a picture of the SPY and kind of help you keep in context on a larger time frame of what the market is looking for here, what we're looking for in the market, as a matter of fact. And of course, we had bigger earnings come out. Microsoft just beat earnings. Meta beat earnings, kind of mixed results right now. We'll see where that goes today. You saw some interesting price action today in the market, as a matter of fact. But I'm also going to start off this right here and ask a question because Charlie Boleo put this out, and I can't remember a time like this either, where stocks were at all-time highs, home prices all-time highs, gold all-time highs, Bitcoin all-time highs, national debts at all-time highs. Core CPI inflation is greater than 3% for 41 straight months, longest period of high inflation since the 90s. And the Fed is cutting rates again next week, most likely for the second time. So put in the comments, do you ever remember a time like this? Obviously, Bitcoin has not been around that long, but gold sure has, housing has, and the national debt has. So let me know what you think about that. I will talk about two earnings, which you got to be aware of, okay? There's plenty of them out there, but as far as the economy is concerned, just to be aware of it. One was Caterpillar. They obviously were down today, but they put a warning out, right? Because they're one of the largest equipment makers out there and stuff. And so, you know, we're talking about the construction business, mining business, operation when it comes to like energy projects around the world. So they're a global company. And what they said today was, yes, our revenue won't be as much as we thought it was going to be as far as sales are concerned in 2024 because things have slowed in the construction business. That's what they're seeing right now. And in detail, especially when it comes to China and things of that nature. But when I read this, sales of construction equipment, Caterpillar's biggest business segment, dropped 9% from the same period a year ago on lower sales volume of machines to customers and lower prices. The company said North America, along with Europe, Africa, Middle East region, especially weak, with each geographical segment seeing revenue decline of about 11% and 15% respectively. Sales in the segment to the Asian Pacific region dropped 12%. The company reported the mining equipment revenue fell almost 10%. So that's one of them. The other one is Kraft Heinz, just because they make so much stuff that you buy in the grocery store, things you don't even know they make. And they said, you know, people are still trying to switch down to cheaper brands. They've been having to lower their prices still. And so these are just things to be aware of when it comes to the economy, okay? Not the stock market, but the economy right now. Eventually it will affect the stock market, just not right now. As you can see with the data that came out this morning, you end up here with GDP. Didn't come in line with expectations, just below, but still at 2.8. And so we've had strong GDP over the last reports, whether we believe them or not or whatever, doesn't matter. That's what the market wants to see. And you can see they're kind of staying steady Eddie, right? You want it above, 2%. And you can see, here's the crazy part. What contributed to this? 3.7% of this came from personal consumption. We are spending. You see over the last three reports, it has actually been increasing. All right, so you would think maybe with the holidays rolling around, people still swiping those credit cards, doing those buy now, pay later stuff. Guess what? It might go up again. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Now, what on a larger time frame are we looking for in the SPY here? The question is, obviously, are we accumulating or is this distribution up here, right? We were doing distribution right there. That's accumulation, move to a higher range. And now is this accumulation where we'll move to a higher range? Or is it going to be distribution and we'll end up selling down? So that's the bigger, larger time frame of what we're actually looking for, okay? Now, going into detail, you can see the SPY is trying to hold on to this trend line right here. We are still within that weekly expected move, which will come in handy on IWM when I show it to you. Again, these earnings are coming in all over the place, mixed. So far, the Mag 7, not bad at all, right? They're being dealt with differently, right? As far as whether they're being pushed up or pushed down, because some of them went on larger moves, like Microsoft and Meta went on huge moves yesterday and this morning before they even reported earnings tonight, right? So how much was baked in? That's what you got to find out. When you look at the Qs, again, both of them are above their 5-day moving average right now. The Q's sitting right on top of the 5-day moving average. And we'll see what they do, they sell it down tonight or not. And when we look at it on a smaller time frame, the 2 hour, you can see they brought us up, right? And then sold us off the rest of the day on Wednesday right here. And right there, you can see we mitigated that 2 hour fair value gap right there. Came back up, came back down here to this level here. The question is, do we hold it? And the thing to remember, as long as this little shaded box at the bottom right here, holds and stays intact overnight, there's a good chance that, you know, we can sit here and go up tomorrow. And I'm talking about this area right here. And we kind of zoom in. I'm going to extend this over to the right here. And we can see we bounced here, we bounced here. And so the question is, they're probably going to bring us down, if not already as I'm recording this, down to right here. And if it bounces here and that holds, there's a good chance that we will actually go up. All right. So just kind of keep that in mind right there. Get a bounce. If we break down, obviously, then the shaded box below and that trend line is going to come into play. All right. I don't think I have any doubt about that. But right now, you know, we'll see if we get this bounce. That shaded area has to break first. Now, looking at IWM, speaking of weekly expected moves, you can see this thing came up to the penny on that box, which I don't move the shaded boxes once I put them in, and tagged it and went down. Okay, it also intersects with something else I'll talk about. But as we look at it so far, obviously you can look at this. This is an uptrend, right? 2-hour uptrend, whatever time frame you want to put it on. So we'll extend that trend line up. And this is what I was talking about, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? I was like, man, we're already at the top of the range already. Don't mean we can't exceed it, right? It's only good 70% of the time. But usually when you get outside, it'll come back in. But you can see that fair value gap, right? So the penny mitigated that one down right at the top of the weekly range, came back down, mitigated the other fair value gap right here. So there's a good chance, even if we come down to this trend line tomorrow, that we do bounce, because so far it's an upward trend with higher highs, higher lows right now in IWM. It really, I think, it's depending on the 10-year. If the 10-year starts to pop up again, crypto continues to crash, you might see this move down again. But if the 10-year starts to roll over, and I don't know if crypto has a move or not, but if the 10-year rolls over, then expect to move up. Now, you might notice what's going on with SMCI, down 38%. Woo, boy. And what happened, and it's not good, is Ernst & Young resigned from being their auditors because they said there is just transparency concerns, and so that is not a good thing. And so that's why you see Enron, the name Enron being thrown around all over the place. And of course, I always say, I said, boy, if we ever enter this little volume gap right here, they kept holding it back, watch out below. And boy, did you have to watch out below. I mean, you saw just week after week, they just kept holding it and holding it and holding it and holding it. And so we kept going, wow, where's this 10K? Where's this 10K? Well, 10K is somewhere in that toilet bowl down there somewhere, I guess. But they were supposed for earnings a day. They pushed it back November 5th, I believe. And so they're going to hold a press conference or whatever about the issues with the company or what's happening with the company. And so if your auditor resigns, I'm not an accountant, that's usually not a good sign. Okay, because they don't want their name associated with any of this stuff. And they're one of those large, I think it's the large 4 accounting firms. And so that's usually not a good thing. So again, we'll see where that one goes. Let me know if you're in that one or not. Now, AMD, right here, it may just have bounced, and this is going to be the bounce at the 0.5 fib. But boy, it would be nice if it came down this volume pocket right here and just a volume gap at the golden pocket right there around that trend line area. Like, that will be sweet. I don't know if we get there, to be honest with you. But, you know, you can see it's bouncing right there, the 0.50 fib right there. There is support in the past here. We'll kind of scroll over. I'll even move this white line down so you can see it. It's bounced here multiple times. So do not be surprised if this is actually, if we're not going to sell down the market anymore. There's no reason for this to sell down at all. The market will have to show weakness, I think, if this go down anymore. But, you know, a guy can dream or whatever. So, again, that would be like another 5% to get down to that area. That shaded area is the golden, that 0.79, that's the real big one you want to get to. But we'll see. This might just be where it's going to be, and that's it. Because the earnings weren't bad. They just didn't guide as much as the market wanted it to, right? Now, TLT, obviously you see bullish divergence right here on the RSI. You see a pop. We talked about this with the 10-year Treasury. This is the key, okay? You saw it was kind of green today. Once you got that strong data in there, boom. And understand, I know somebody said, well, what do you mean it don't have to go down? You're right, it does not have to go down. I'm saying if it breaks down, yes. Can this go higher? Absolutely. If it breaks out right here, right, if we keeping this strong data keeps coming in, then yes, the next level I'll put right here, there's your next target, 4.476, okay, or 4.5-ish for the 10-year, which will not be good for TLT, IWM, any of them, okay? And so just understand, because you know, IWM started off real strong today because the 10-year was down, but then the 10-year rebound, IWM ended up pulling back. And so you need this to roll over for, I think, really any of that stuff to continue to go. So we'll see if that happens or not. Now, more big earnings here. We got Uber, Peloton, Merck, ConocoPhillips, Sirius, XM, which is the Berkshire Hathaway stock, MasterCard, Norwegian Cruise Lines, and then the big boys, Amazon, Apple, Intel is reporting. And then I don't really see any more on that one. When it comes to economic data, it's going to be another loaded day. You're going to have core PCE price index month over month, employment costs, unemployment claims, personal income, personal spending, Chicago PMI. Who cares about natural gas, right? And so it's going to be another busy day, guys. We'll see what happens, which way it's going to go. And please, as usual, please hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Feel free to sign up for the membership. Let me know if there's any issues with that. Less than McDonald's combos, everything you get. And I'll see you tomorrow.